Welcome to another edition of D&D Sports Show. I'm your host, Rasul McGee. Like we always say, it's Saturday, right? It's Saturday to hear your sports that you want to hear on your weekend. We have a sports lineup that you would not believe. I guarantee you never heard this before until you get into the show. We have to talk about the Commanders off-season regiment and what they got to do. Free agency. We're going to talk about wide receivers, DE, tackle, left guard, center. We're going to talk about the defense. We're going to talk about D tackles, DEs, linebackers. We're talking about free safeties and corners. We're also going to talk about the Washington Wizards and their remaking of everything. All right. Well, it seems like somebody's already up and waiting. We're also going to talk about the Washington Capitals. We're going to talk about the Washington Wizards, Washington Capitals, DC United, and we're also going to talk about Maryland Terrapins, the whole shebang. All right. So we got a lot to get to. All right. So with that being said, let's start the show. We're going to talk about the Washington Commanders first because the Washington Commanders had a great season. They got to the NFC Championship and lost. But, they had a great season. Now, the question is, who's going to stay, who's going to go? Offensive line needs to be remade. We need another center. Maybe Aguiletti might stay. The center's going to stay. The wide receivers, I'm pretty sure Dommy Brown is gone. I think mainly we're going to talk about, we got a free agency to plug in. Dommy Brown is probably on. And and the one thing I really like is how, we have options. And in the wide receiver, the free agency wide receiver is stacked. We got Stefon Diggs, Cooper KUPP. Imagine Cooper KUPP being here in the Commanders uniform. It's going to be electrifying. And Daniels at the helm, but we need a running back. And I'm pretty sure we need somebody that can actually break the tackles. I'm not too sure if Brian Robinson Jr. is that guy anymore. Eckler, Eckler could be that third down breaking wide receiver, but you just got to stop the drop balls. We got to get somebody who can actually hold the ball around his neck so when he gets hit, it's not going to be a fumble. We definitely need a wide receiver, slot wide receiver, and I keep saying between Stefon Diggs and Cooper KUPP seems logical, right? I was talking to some more Commander fans, and they were like, you know what? Give Luke McCaffrey a chance. And I'm like, the man hasn't really done anything all season. They were like, well, just give him a chance. If he don't do anything next season, let him go. I'm like, why give this guy a shot? He hasn't done anything. Then you got to think about, the other guy. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I think the tight ends, stay, especially, Cole and Bates. I think they are the core of how to block, right? I think they need to stay more than all. I think we definitely need another wide receiver who could stretch the field like a Jordan Reed. I feel like that's the nucleus where we're missing a third threat. I was looking at Cam's Scatterboo, and Big Steve brought this up. But he's according to what they're saying, he's the best running back in the NFL, in the college ranks. I don't see it. I think there's other running backs out there, excuse me, that can actually break the tackles and the wide receivers, not tackles, the defensive tackles and the linebackers grip and make them miss and run for that touchdown that we desperately needed. Don't get me wrong. Christopher Rodriguez, I think, is probably that guy. And I think if we give him a shot, he could potentially be that guy in the red zone. He's definitely a red zone type of running back that desperately needs more carries. Now, to McNichols' credit, McNichols is a big back. He's a power runner, but he's not that type of guy that way you can give him 45 to 50 carries a day and break it wide open. I think he's going to be released too. Brian Robinson Jr. is it's a last, it's more like up in the air. Give him another shot. Is he going to break one? I mean, his numbers say 777 yards rushing and a couple touchdowns, but can he break one for 1,000? If he would have had more 300-yard runs, 100-yard games, he would have broke 1,000. He's close, but he doesn't have that breaking speed that we desperately need. We need to bolster up. And the question of today, and I need this question asked to the panel: Do y'all hear what Dak Prescott has said, that the Cowboys are going to be in a Super Bowl next year and beat the Commanders and Eagles and remain relevant? I mean, the whole nation is laughing at this comment that he just made. I remember 2 or 3 seasons ago, he made the same prediction and got laughed at completely over and over again. And then when he fell to the max of not completing that saying, he looked stupid and blamed himself. And then the following year, did it again, and he looked stupid again. Before I open up the mic to the panel, I also want to bring out some of this wild basketball season. I want to bring up the NBA real quick. The Lakers made a big trade. And this trade involved Anthony Davis going to the Mavericks and Luka becoming a Laker. And not only that, the Lakers were not done. They let go of the Connect guy they drafted, who was making all threes, let him go. Then made a mistake, brought him back. And now the kid is like, y'all let me go and I was killing it? I don't want to play for y'all no more. Then they went and got Bradley Beal, who was for the Suns. Now he's a Laker. Make this make sense for me. Make this make sense for me. Because this is by far the funniest thing I have ever heard in my life. I'm going to open up the mic. I got to know what the panel think. I think Eric just left. He's probably going to come back. Big Steve, you still here? Yeah, he's back with the Lakers, but he's not confident as he was before he left. Mm-hmm. It didn't. Well, no. Well, let's. Well, hold on. Let's not get ahead of the Wizards trade. We haven't. Let's talk about the Lakers, because the Lakers are saying they are final bounds. And now here's the point I want to make. There's one team with 45 wins, and people had count them out for 3 seasons, and that is the Oklahoma City Thunder. 45-20. So what does that mean? That means that the Thunder are the top dogs to beat. And even LeBron making this trade to get Luka and sending Anthony Davis to where he needs to be, away from LA, but you see him to Dallas with Kyrie Irving, and you're telling exactly. So now what you're doing is saying that you can't win in Dallas now. You letting go your stars, and you sending Anthony Davis, who won a championship during the pandemic or during the end tournament. You're sending him off and saying, we can't work with you no more, Anthony. You're the weakest link. Goodbye. Then you bring it, and what was funny is how LeBron characterized it, right? He was like, aha, yeah, we're back. I'm like, dude, you let go your teammates saying he was a championship Hall of Famer. So you just don't say exactly my point. So that is ridiculous. So I gotta get y'all point. I think Eric's back. Eric, what are your thoughts? Okay, what's good, Eric? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, I appreciate that. The look up, the good, the look up. I appreciate that. And then after this, we're gonna go back to the NFL, because there's a lot of questions there, a lot of knowledge that needs to be spent, because that's where most of the effort is. But let's go to Coach, because I know Coach is here. Coach, what do you think about the Laker trade sending Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks for Luka? Are you excited? Are you a Laker fan? The Warriors are good. Yes. Okay, all right. So you're not biased. That's good. That's good. Well, I think the trade that was happening across the NBA sent shockwaves, because not only that happened, you got Levine, who's a Bull. Now he's a San Antonio Spur working with Wembanyama. Then you got DeRozan, now a King, and I'm like, what is going on with the freaking NBA? And then you got Jimmy Butler, who's now a Warrior, who's working with Steph Curry. That's going to be an interesting thing. I think, if anything, Anthony Davis should have been traded to the Warriors, Because, Draymond is not the same Draymond is old. Draymond is a problem child. And if you get Anthony Davis, who makes 30 points per game in the paint, the Warriors are unstoppable in the paint. And then you got Stephen Curry beyond the arc. That is a triple threat. And then he got a whole nucleus of threes, guys who can make through around the perimeter and in the paint. The point paint's going to be 50 points. So now you have, they're dangerous, but they're not sold on how to use everybody. Now let's get to the Wizards, right? The Wizards traded, Kuzma to the Bucks to play with Giannis, right? You send Middleton to the Wizards. Now we got Marcus Smart. That is pretty dope. I mean, I'm not mad at the, Dawkins is really doing something in Washington. I mean, so I'm like, okay. I'm like in the theater. You got the popcorn. You're like, okay, I like this plot. What's going to happen next? I don't want to be freaked out, but I'm like, yo, I paid my money's worth now. But then you got this one problem, Bilal Coulibaly. He's supposed to be the defensive guy of the year. I mean, he's like another Denny Adinajad. He's going to keep doing the same BS until you think, what are you doing? You're just running around the court. This is not track, bro. Stop. Coach, sit him down. He's making. Then you're gonna double dribble. Then you're gonna turn the ball over, and then you're gonna say, "Oh, he scored 27 points. Oh, he's so awesome." So we lost the game. I mean, listen. I think the problem is not the coaches. I think it's the players that we bring that don't believe in the coach's philosophy that tends to turn to mush. And when we bring a player from, not all players from France are crap, because I like Alexander Sarr. He's actually going to be the rookie of the year. I mean, he's not the rookie of the year, but the player of the year next year. My problem is Coulibaly is not consistent. He's a problem. I know Wizard fans, you're like, oh, but he's the star. You got to give him a chance. I gave him a chance. And you know what happened? He didn't pan out. So he has to go. He has to go. He does. Well, that's a good point there, Coach, because they're not using him in a way that is effective. And he only averaged 9 points per game, but he's averaging a little bit over this year, like 20 something. But let me get because he's the co-host of the Hand Sports Show, and he's none other than Louis Tenor. How you doing, Lou? Well, that person has too much beer this morning. Don't worry. But listen, but yeah. So if you look at this, yeah. So Lou, I want to ask you this question because your quarterback, man, God bless his heart. This quarterback sat here and said that, Dallas is going to be back in the Super Bowl and he's going to beat the Eagles and the Commanders and they're going to be relevant next year. Can you help me explain what he's talking about? Let me ask you this question. Didn't he make that same statement 2-3 seasons ago? He didn't learn from nothing. Exactly. I think he had too many promotion protocols prior to that statement he made 2-3 seasons ago. Who? I've never heard this. Who's? That's you know what I believe that I I believe that. I think Jerry's like, listen, Dak, I want you to do this. Go out there and tell them we're going to be in the Super Bowl and get our fans riled up, and then we can go on the sports networks and go, yeah, I stay behind that statement. You ready? You ready? And then after you do that, I give you $10 million. Heck, I give you the ranch that's in my backyard. Sad, sad. I think if you look at how Dak is playing himself to be, he's probably trying to be the hero because he knows his reputation and his career is on the line if he doesn't do this well next year. You got a new head coach who's Brian Schottenheimer, who's never been a coach in his life. You just let Keelan Moore go to the Saints. Yes. Well, this is what I was talking about. So this person right here is a prime example of what Jerry Jones has to go through every single morning when he wakes up and look at himself in the mirror. So he starts yelling at himself. So he's like, I don't look at myself. Turn it off. Okay, sir. Exactly. Close the curtain. Close the curtain. That's terrible. I'm sorry that person had to go through that. That was a very very. That's too much. That's too... Oh man, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything. That's why Jerry Jones is so antic. You want you to go out there and you lie. You lie. You're behind, officer. Lie, Dak. Yeah, that's his... exactly. You know, he reminds me of. You know, he reminds me of. He reminds me of that one coach that called him timeout and aced his kicker. I forgot his name was. Oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. I, I forgot his name. Yeah. I remember that. I remember that. That was funny. I remember that. I remember that. No, actually, it didn't hit the it didn't hit it didn't hit the TV set. It didn't hit the TV set. It hit the cameraman, then the TV camera, because he was. So what happened was the guy was positioned in the corner, right, to get the whole field, and the ball flipped all the way to the left, hit him. He turned to position himself so he wouldn't get hit too hard, and it hit him so hard that he fell, and it hit the cameraman. I'm gonna put it in the group so everybody can see it. It was the funniest thing in the world. I literally laughed my head off, and I'm like, that's when they went to the commercial. I'm like, no, don't go to commercial. See the guy get angry, and see if you can chase the kicker up the field. I would love to see that. That would have been on America's Most Funniest Videos. I want. Yeah. Okay. No, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let's not bring Aaron Rodgers into this conversation. No. That's that's sacrilegious. That's sacrilegious. We can't bring Aaron Rodgers into this conversation. No, no. But I let's bring up the conversation about Myles Garrett. Do you want Myles Garrett to be in the Commanders uniform this year? Thank you. Who else agrees with that? Myles Garrett. Well, here's my problem with Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is a fighter, and he fights, and he causes too many penalties on this defense. And suspensions too. I think he's a probability, not a liability, because here's my point. We're in I mean, this could be the game of the century. We are leading in the NFC East, and we're one win away of being home field advantage in the playoffs. He causes a penalty that gets ejected. And we need this guy to win against one of our opponents, either the Eagles or the Cowboys. And what happens? He causes that, and we're literally without a bookend, right? Hmm. No. We need we need we need a Florida State DE who is completely wrecking. Yeah, the Florida State, that guy, he's not. We neither need him or the guy from Texas A&M. Both of them play in. Both of them. So let me ask Lou, because I want to get Lou in the conversation, because I believe Lou has some great insight too. So the next coming football season, Lou, how do you feel about these upcoming meetings of the NFL? What do you think the NFL meeting is going to be another attempt to input another bad call, like the kickoff or the penalty rules? What do you look for? Well, yeah, I totally agree with you, because I think the NFL is just trying to boost the ratings and not understand that the nuance of the game doesn't need to be changed, because the more that you change it, the more bland it's going to be. Look at what look what the USFL is doing. Look what the DC the defenders are doing. They're actually making DC a winnable game. Don't get me wrong. Jason Daniel just put Commanders back on the map. The defense, they played a balanced game, a bend and don't break defense, but we're not a bend and don't break defense kind of team. We are a destroying team. Yes, we had an inside game that was strong enough, but it wasn't strong enough. We need to have a DE on both bookends, like Ryan Kerrigan and Brian Arapco type of thing. We need to bring that back, and that's what we're about. That's what. And here's what I really was surprised of hearing. I don't know if y'all saw this, but I'm bringing it to light. Dana Stubblefield just became a free man, being in prison for. You saw that. Okay, so that was shocking to me, because he was the original guy that was brought from San Francisco to be an inside guy, along with Albert Hainsworth, I believe. I'm not for sure. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think those two were supposed to be inside presence, right? So not only that, I also, yeah, well, yeah, we definitely had them. And also, yeah, we had both of them at the same time. Yep. And and what and but here's the problem. Dana wasn't the same Dana as he was in the 49ers era. He was on his way out. So we were getting somebody that has lost that talent, that speed, right? That strength. So we were getting on his way out and didn't pan out well. But he played with, consistently, but he wasn't as strong as he should have been in that game. And that's why I was like, gosh. And then it brings me back to Jason Taylor. We need somebody like Jason Taylor and Kennard Lang. How do y'all feel about having Chase Young back? Because Chase Young has said that he wants to be a Commander with this. What? Okay, Coach, what do you think? There you go. That's a. Hey, Eric, what do you think, man? Uh, well, well, that is a good point there. Me on the other hand, I believe if he had picked up speed and more agility and more ways to get around a left tackle or right tackle, then yeah, we definitely need him. But as of right now, I don't see the Saints giving him up anytime soon or releasing him. Maybe if they do release him, he's going to an AFC East team or West team. I think what we need to do is continue on boosting up the defense. I mean, we do have we still have Joe Witt Jr. I don't think we're gonna release Joe Witt. I think we just got to pick up a better philosophy of getting to the quarterback and dropping back and covering people, because we were horrible in coverage. We were horrible in stopping the run, and we were good at getting to the quarterback. If Luvu and Jimmy Chin are used effectively, we could be the number one defense in the NFL and go to the Super Bowl. This is where I believe that. Oh, stop it! You stop it. You wanted to hear that. Well, here's the thing, Eric. If you look at Luvu had about 4 sacks in one game, and he blocked and if no, but if we do get a DE, then he wouldn't have to do that. But it would be beneficial if we do have a DE and bookends, and then he could still do that. That's why I wanted Jeremy Chin to be that guy to go around the edge and sack the quarterback. That way, it would have been more effective and more efficient than us not having that other DE on the other side. We only had Armstrong, and who was the other guy? Holmes. He was actually making it more efficient than Armstrong. Armstrong was being blocked practically the whole time we had those 6 wins. If we I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's. Okay, we talked about this. I, I Big Steve. We talked about this last show. Cam Scatterboo is the running back you referring to from Arizona State. The man, they said he's the best running back, but here's the problem. I don't think he's going to fall to us at 26 or 29 in the first round. And this is why. No, he's not going to fall for us. If you look at other teams' needs, it's at running back. And they're looking at the same running back you looking at, and it's not going to fall for. I'm being real with you. There's no reason. We need something that is efficient, that's going to fall to us, that is not a top tier running back, but actually can make those runs and carry the football and get yardage at the hits, right? Oh, stop it. Stop. If he does, bro, then we got to coach him up 1,000%. But I'm 1,000% sure his talent is going to be seen by all teams. And if Okay. Let's keep this PG. All right. All right. So uh, I literally love this draft because the NFL draft this year has exactly what we had before. This time it's 10 times the talent on defense and 10 times the talent on wide receivers. So we got well, I what we need more than anything, we need to have a running back and the running back caliber because we're not sold on Brian Robertson and we're not sold on Eckler. But I believe if we keep Eckler, yeah, that's the mainly why. If he's there, if listen, I am all for picking up Cam Scatterboo, but I'm not 100% sold on it unless the coaches are saying that we can coach him up. If they coach him up, then we got a running back, and then we can actually let one of our running backs go, which is going to happen anyway. But we'll revisit this question back. we 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 okay. All right. Okay. All right. We got revisit. We got to revisit this question because this question is on hot topic. We're gonna go to the Wizards, and I mean we already went to the Wizards. We already went to it. Let's go to baseball because Baltimore Orioles had just recently stocked up on a lot of pitching in their rotation, and I can tell you right now, they're not done. They got Tomoyaki Sagao from Japan. And they also got this one guy named what is it? This one guy named Batista, who's not 100%, back yet, but he will be back in All Star. We have this guy who's on the. Let me get this person's name because it's really a good thing because here we go. So we got pitchers that still are out there. Jose Cantina, who is the Mets. His last year numbers are 10-10 with a 3.75 ERA. Nick Pivetta, who is also a 6-12 pitcher with a 4.14 ERA. But he's durable, so he's going to be in the rotation. He won't be a starter. He'll be a reliever with 3 outs. Jose Cantina previously, that guy is actually pretty good guy because I think he could be that rotation. He could be that rotation guy. I want to get y'all perspective on where you see the Orioles in the rotation because they got Zach Eflin, Grayson Rodriguez, Dean Kramer, Albert Suarez. Now Albert Suarez, he lost a lot of games, and I'm not too sold on him. I think they should release him. Dean Kramer, I'm not too sold on him because he actually gave up a lot of hits And Kyle Brandish, he's injured along with Tyler Wells, so they're just coming off the Tommy John operation on the elbow, so they won't be back any soon. And then they're gonna let go of John Means, because John Means hasn't been the same since his Tommy John operation. And they let go of Corbin Burns, who was the prime example of the Orioles getting to the playoffs and losing to the Royals. But now Corbin Burns is now with the Arizona Diamondbacks, who's getting paid $210 million. I wish I was a Diamondback right now. I need that 200 mil really bad. But the question I want to pose to the panel is, do you think I'm gonna go to Lou, and then I'm gonna talk to Lou about this. Do you think Jack Flaherty has been signed, or do you think the Baltimore Orioles has a chance to get him? So I don't know if he's being signed yet. I mean, has he accepted? I know he was with. Let me make this find out right now, because I heard that he was being sought out about another team. Let me see, Jack Flaherty, and I'm trying to figure out. Detroit got him. Detroit's gonna be good with this guy. Yeah, he's returning back to the Tigers, which is crazy because the Tigers just got Manny Machado. Wow, Manny Machado was Orioles hitter. So I want to pose to the. I mean, I know everybody. Okay, so the guy that's going to be a legend is Jackson Holliday. Holliday is from the AAA farm of the Orioles, and he was lighting it up. He was home running. He was stealing bases. He was throwing guys out, and they brought him up, and he hasn't really flourished here in the Orioles rotation. But they feel to this year is Jackson Holliday year. I want to get to the question to the panel. Knowing what Jackson Holliday did in the AAA, do you believe this is his chance to shine in the rotation in the AL East? By the way, with the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Do you think that this is our year to showcase the strength of our defense and offensive juggernaut and Jackson Holliday debut? Let's go with Lou and with Big Steve. So, do you think Jackson Holliday, offensive juggernaut, that was he did in the AAA, do you think he's going to carry over to this year on his second year being from that to showcase that he is the guy to carry this team? Okay. Coach. All right, Eric. Okay, all right, man. Listen, man, you gotta watch one Oriole game this year, man. One Oriole game. Man, why you making it so difficult, Eric? Man, what's going on, bro? Yeah, what? why you being so difficult on every issue, man? We're gonna have to talk after the show, man. All right. Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna go to the caps. Okay, we're gonna go after this one question. We're going caps. Okay, buddy. Okay. All right, Big Steve. Oh my gosh, Big Steve, really? Come on, man. Come on, choke sandwich, Big Steve. Come on, man. We're gonna, you know what? Me and you gonna talk after the show too. You just keep on, keep on. All right. So let's go to the Caps. Okay, the Caps are on fire. They're actually set. I think there were 79 points, and they're leading the NHL. The 80 points. Okay, my I'm on the website. It says 79, but I guess it didn't. Okay, 80. So the 80 points. Who did they beat? Let me. Oh yeah. They had. Yeah. Right. Awesome. So all right. So let's check out what the Caps schedule looks like right now. And I believe that the Caps are in really good position. And I don't see any other team right now that can actually take them on. You know, I mean, even though they lost some games, don't get me wrong. They lost about 11 games, but it's rare. I mean, because during the regular season they're juggernauts, right? But during the playoffs, you know, right, true. But I think this year they're different. They're really different. Ovi's on a mission to break Wayne Gretzky's record, and position how many goals he's away? 15? 15. That's actually the end. That's the end of the season. 4 games to the end of the season, this guy can really do it. And then when he breaks it, he positions the Caps into a really good situation of winning the Stanley Cup. I love this situation, soccer hockey. You know, so I mean, I think he'll do it. What do you guys say? Do you think he'll break it? Wow. Exactly. You know, but here's the I, yeah. Well, see, here's the problem I have with the organization of the Wizards. You had two of the best backcourt tandems in the league that didn't even grow up to be the best, right? Because you split them up and you sent them on the way. It was John Wall and Bradley Beal. They were tearing up the NFL. Nobody wanted to play the Wizards at home because of them two. We didn't have the best of the person playing the 5 or playing the 4, but we had the nucleus. We were the number 1 team defensively, I think, in the Atlantic Division. And then we changed the game by winning Game 6. We were the first team. I think they were. I think out of the NBA, it was 0-10. We were that one that changed the books. Even though we lost, we changed something for the very first time. And then what happened? We lost Game 7 to the Celtics. You know, I understand that. But then we were supposed to come back. Yeah, so that was not our fault because we didn't have the personnel. They had Isaiah Thomas. They had Marcus Smart. They had Al something, I forgot his name. And then they had the Horton. Yeah, Al Horton. And they were just lights out better. And then they had the head coach. So technically we lost because we had a better, you know, they had a better team than us in the Game 7. But anyway, Washington Capitals are going to go to the Stanley Cup. They're going to go to the playoffs. They're going to be one of the 4. And I literally love this about this city because now the Caps are going to make this city a championship city once again. That's what I love. I'm sorry, Lou. I'm sorry, but you know I'm a Caps. But he's going to break the record books. He's going to send NHL into a frenzy. Everybody's going to buy the jersey 10 times more, and we're going to be on the map once again. With that being said, we lost track of time. I want to thank Lou. He's the co-host of the Hand Sports Show. Louis Tenor, got to say goodbye. We got Coach, we got Eric, and got Big Steve. I want to thank everybody for coming in. You're human first, everything second. Your conquerors by definition go conquer your dreams, and have a great weekend. God bless everybody. Be safe. I'm out. Peace. Thanks to you for coming in and watching the DMV Sports Show. It was a great entertainment. It was a great show. It was great laughter. You got the ups and the downs. Make sure you come back next Saturday and talk about the Wizards, Capitals, Commanders, DC United, and we're going to talk about Maryland Terrapins. And be safe. God bless. You're human first, everything second. You're conquered by definition. Go conquer your dreams. Peace.